Welcome to rSlash where OP's girlfriend wants to do erotic horse roleplay in the bedroom. Our next Reddit post comes from the Computer Geek. I'm a 35-year-old guy, and my 24-year-old girlfriend wants me to act like a horse when we passionately hug, and I'm not into it at all. So, a bit of backstory. My girlfriend of 6 months loves horses. She has all of her life. And additionally, a seemingly relevant point is that during intercourse, she'll sometimes say stuff like, "F me with that horse c-." I never thought much of it. I thought that was just a way of her saying that I'm big. But she started to take it further, and it's turned into a bit of a fetish that I'm not entirely comfortable with. A few days ago, she told me that she wanted to roleplay, and at first I was pretty on board, but then she said, "as horses." I laughed, thinking that it was a joke, and she took it the wrong way and said she was tired and went to sleep. I said, okay, trying to make her feel better. I'll do it tomorrow. Honestly, it was okay, but very, very weird. She got so into it, and she said that it was the best she's ever had, and next time she wants to buy costumes and and maybe do it on some hay. I told her no, and I did not want to do it again, and now she's back to being mad at me. Am I being a dick here? I don't know what to do. OP, this is super simple. Next time she wants to push your boundaries when you're not comfortable with it, just say, "hold your horses." I say nay to that. Our next Reddit post is from Throwaway Sutu. I'm Latina and my husband is white. We have 2 kids. Our daughter, who's 8, looks just like my husband. She has white skin, straight hair, and Nordic facial features. Our son, who's 6, has brown skin, wavier hair, and features more similar to mine. My husband is in love with our daughter. She's the oldest, and from the moment she was born, he's doted on her. Our son's experience is entirely different. As our son grew and developed more color, my husband seemed impressed by how much darker our son was compared to our daughter. I remember him mentioning several times how different they were, with a touch of disappointment in his voice. It bothered me, but I just thought that he wanted our son to resemble him. Anything our daughter asks for, he gets for her. He goes all out for our daughter, while our son is left in her shadow. He tends to be cold towards our son while being incredibly affectionate and sweet with our daughter. If we ever have to split up and take each child, even something as simple as holding their hands, he always, without fail, chooses our daughter. People in my family have noticed this too. I've tried to rationalize this to myself that maybe it's because she's his little girl, maybe because she's his firstborn, etc. I took the kids swimming last weekend. My daughter tans very easily. By the end of the day, she had a lovely tan, and when we got home, my husband was upset. He said, "Why didn't you put sunscreen on her?" in an annoyed voice. I replied, "I did. Nevertheless, you can still get a tan with sunscreen." Then he said to take her to an indoor pool next time and use some absurd excuse about the dangers of sun exposure. The thing is, he doesn't say anything about my son's tan. He's only showed concern about my daughter's tan. I confronted him about it later that night, and he acted as if I were crazy and simply brushed it off. At this point, I feel uncomfortable around my own husband, and I'm beginning to think that I married a prejudiced man. I don't know what to do. My son is still young now, but eventually he'll notice this too. What should I do? How do I deal with this and make sure that it won't ruin our marriage? You know, I'll admit, starting the story, I kind of wanted to give the father the benefit of the doubt, and I was thinking, okay, maybe it's just the whole daddy's little girl type scenario where he just really loves this little girl. But the more I read, the more I was like, nah, this does kind of sound like racism. Which is weird because why did this girl marry a Latina girl if he doesn't like Latinos? I don't know what to tell you, OP. As someone who's also in a biracial marriage, I can tell you if my spouse acted this way, I would be disgusted. Our next Reddit post is from No Prince. I'm a 35-year-old woman and my boyfriend is 42. He says that I'm wrong. Please tell me that I'm not tripping. So my fiance of 13 years just informed me that he sold the house that we're living in with our 2 kids. It was his mother's house that we literally just got 7 months ago after fighting a long battle in probate because he wants to move to South Carolina, a state that neither one of us has ever been to.
He says that I'm tripping and being negative because I'm asking legitimate questions like, where do you plan on living? You've never even been there before. What if you get down there and you don't like it? So we're supposed to pull our kids out of school and just wait until you find a place you like? Have you even researched anything besides houses on Zillow? You don't even have a job down there. I feel blindsided and pissed off because I wasn't even asked, and I kind of feel like it's a slap in the face. He says that he hates our city and we need a fresh start. OP, this doesn't merely sound like your fiance being a bad fiance. This sounds like, I don't know, some kind of psychological issue, like a stroke or a manic episode or something. This is insane. Yo, even just selling a house that you're living in without even mentioning it to you beforehand is bonkers, let alone adding in moving into a state that you've never even been to. This guy needs like a CAT scan. Does he have a tumor growing in his brain that's making him act weirdly? Our next Reddit post is from Throwaway Cat Prank. I'm a 25-year-old woman and my boyfriend is 29. My boyfriend played a prank on me, and I don't know if I can make it past this. Could you? We've been together for 8 years, lived together for 6. We recently bought a new cat toy. It's a toy that hangs from the door frame by a stretch string with a toy attached. I'm pretty cautious when it comes to my cat. I've had him since the moment he was born. I absolutely adore him, and my partner does too, I think. When the toy isn't in use, I tie it up so that it's right at the top of the door frame, out of reach, because I just had a horrible idea of my cat getting stuck and somehow hung or strangled by it. My partner says this is ridiculous, and he won't because cats are smart. But still, tying it up just makes me feel better. I want to be around when he's playing with it to make sure that he doesn't get wrapped up in it and hurt or panicked and stuck. Anyways, I noticed that our cat didn't come to bed yesterday, and I figured he fell asleep on the sofa. As I walked downstairs, it was dark, mind you, I saw that my cat toy wasn't tied up and out of sight. And I saw what I thought was my cat tangled up and partially hanging off the ground. In my sleepy state, I actually fell down the stairs, injured my foot, and sobbed. Then, about 10 seconds later, I realized that it was a plushie toy wrapped up in a fluffy pillowcase the same color and size as the cat. My cat is fine. My boyfriend was giggling in the other room. Giggling as I fell down the stairs and thought that I saw my childhood pet dead hanging there. He thinks that it's just a joke, and you're being ridiculous. He isn't gonna get hurt. I'm right in being upset, right? I'm diagnosed autistic, and other people sometimes tell me that I'm being dramatic, but this time, I really don't think that I am. He's never pulled a prank before. We've never even argued, but I'm so hurt and confused. What did he even want to achieve? This is wrong, isn't it? He's since apologized, and he didn't think that I'd take it so seriously. I thought my best friend was dead. Okay, there's like levels of wrongness here. First off, this is a really messed up prank to do. A prank is like, I don't know, a fart machine. Tricking someone into thinking that their cat hanged to death is awful. Then giggling after you fell down the stairs, then getting angry at you for getting upset at the prank it's like it gets worse and worse and worse. I have difficulty imagining hearing someone fall down the stairs and then scream in pain and then cry in mental anguish and then giggle about it. That sounds kind of psychopathic to me.
Our next Reddit post is from Throwaway. I'm a 19-year-old girl, and my 45-year-old partner pimped me out without my knowledge. We've had a great relationship for a while now, and we both truly love each other. I must clarify that the age gap is just something that we're both comfortable with, and there's nothing predatory going on, and it's not a sugar daddy thing or whatever. I lost my virginity to him, and our sex life has been very satisfying. Sometimes we both have new things that we want to try out, and we do, just like any normal couple. Sometimes we enjoy the new thing, or we laugh at it. A while ago, he mentioned that he wants to see me with other men, and up to that point, I've never been with any other men. But I agreed because it would be an experience, and he would be there with me the entire time. So we tried a few times, and he really liked it. For me, it was meh because I wasn't interested in them, but I would get my pleasure out of it, so whatever. Also, this didn't hamper my love life with my boyfriend, so everything's good. Soon, I was used to it, and I learned to enjoy it. The other men were also very respectful towards me and my boundaries, and everything was super good, and I completely consented to everything. From time to time, there were also strangers who wouldn't even talk a word to me. They would just come in, do their thing, and leave. Usually, with a couple of the regular guys, we would also have a chit-chat in bed or have dinner together, and all but these ones, my husband would go out with them immediately, say some stuff, and then send them away. This happened every single time. He would immediately go out with them, talk, and come back. One day I followed him, and I saw him standing, showing their phones to each other. I couldn't see the screen, but I immediately got a hunch that the other guy was paying my husband for something. So without knowing anything, I assumed that was the case, and I pretended I knew nothing and asked for more to make sure. So I confronted him, and in no time he admitted to it. He said that he only had them pay him these last few times to prove that they really want me. I don't believe that this only happened the past few times, but I do believe it when he said that he did it to make sure they really want me. He's ultra wealthy, and he has no need for that little money that they would pay. Oh my god. Anyway, we talked way too much about it, and we're almost over it, but I also want to get my money or my share from it as well. I didn't ask him for the money, and I didn't think that it would be a good idea to do so, but I recently started to think that I deserve it, so how should I proceed? Yo, girl, forget the money and run! You are on the cusp of being trafficked! This is a known, established way of human trafficking. It's called the Romeo pimp. Basically, a really hot, successful, sexy guy convinces a young girl to be his girlfriend, and then he's like, oh, babe, if you'd really love me, you'd go screw this other guy, and when he pays you $1,000, you'd give it to me or whatever. And she says, oh, babe, because I love you so much, I'm happy to, and that's just how the scam starts. So, girl, it's time to run, flee, exit the building as fast as you possibly can. Our next Reddit post is from Surrogate Daughter. I'm a 20-year-old woman, and my 37-year-old mother tells me that if I don't be her surrogate, she'll cut me out of her life forever. My mother and her new husband want to have a baby. She's still young, so she's fertile. However, both of her past pregnancies were complicated and very dangerous. Her doctor told her to absolutely not get pregnant, as it'll just be even more risky now that she's older. She told me all of this morning, and then she asked me to be her surrogate. She said all I have to do is carry her egg and have it fertilized by her husband. I told her I can't do that. For one, I'm trying to get my nursing degree, and I don't want anything to slow me down. Also, I already have a 2-year-old with my boyfriend, and remembering what it was like to be pregnant, there's no way I would want to go through that again so soon. I'm also worried because a lot of the bonding that mothers do with their babies is while it's still in the womb. I don't want to feel attached maternally to a baby that won't be mine. I gave her my reasons, and she just rolled her eyes and told me, it would be a small sacrifice for you to do this for me. She told me all she wants is another baby, and that I shouldn't deprive her of it when I can help her out so easily. I tried to reason with her, but she literally told me, if you don't do this for me, then I don't want a relationship with you anymore. I asked her if she was serious, and she told me yes and left. I don't know what to do. My mom is very stubborn and very vindictive, so she probably means it, at least for now. I'm not sure how to handle this. I think she's acting crazy. Yo, this is complicated. Imagine what it would feel like to carry, what would it be, your half-sibling inside of your uterus. You're carrying your brother or your sister inside of you. Yo, that's weird. Our next Reddit post is from PWojax. Every year, there's an argument in my family, and after 32 years, I was the one who blew up for the first time. So I'm half Korean, half white. My mom is Korean. My dad's side is white. As a result, we only have my dad's side here with us in the US. For years, I've watched some people on my dad's side speak down to my mom. They never invite her to things. Me and my brother have always been treated like outsiders by some family members. To be frank, I don't care how I'm treated. Every year, we always bite our tongues and survive the holidays because it's only 2 to 3 times a year. We repeat the process and don't expect much from these family members. My mom even buys gifts every year for these family members, but she gets nothing in return and never complains. My white grandma is 80, and she's the only thing anchoring us to some of these family members. 3 times today, I watched my aunt raise her voice to my mom and speak to her as though she doesn't speak English and shut her down over simple questions like, where should I sit? I watched my mom quietly recoil, and I couldn't stand to see it again. My aunt does it the most, and I finally blew up. I yelled so loud that everyone stopped what they were doing. I told them enough is enough, to start treating my mom with respect and as an equal in this house. To stop speaking to my mom, who's lived in the US for 35 years, like she doesn't speak English, and stop shutting her down over simple questions. I've watched this happen year after year, and I won't allow it to happen anymore. My aunt stomped away and was so upset that she left. As she was leaving, I walked up to my aunt to hand my mom's yearly gift to her. I said, "For 30 years, I watched my mom give you a gift every year. I watched her speak to you as an equal with respect. I've never seen you treat her with the same respect." She didn't say anything, but before she left, she apologized to my mom. Before I left, I apologized to everyone and explained why I was upset. Everyone was shocked by how mad I got. I felt like everyone understood why I was mad. After blowing up, it made things awkward. People trickled out early. Now my grandma is talking about not doing Christmas anymore due to the constant family drama. I feel bad, but I never felt so proud to stand up for my mom. That was r/relationships, and if you like this content, check out my podcast where I publish the exact same episodes. Also, hit that subscribe button because I put out new Reddit videos every single day.